day, if you play quarterback, you chose to play that position, and you chose to have that type of pressure on your back. As a quarterback, you're supposed to know the plays. You're supposed to know the playbook better than everybody else. So, I don't really look at it as pressure. I look at it as that's my job. I'm supposed to do that.
Before Jalon Daniels would become an important part to changing the Kansas football culture, he was just a young man grinding out in California. Welcome to Before the Accolades, brought to you by Versace Boy ENT, with your host, the Big Potato. Jalon Daniels, born in Lawndale, California, on October 29, 2002.
I started playing quarterback when I was 8 years old for the South Bay Packers. I really started as a running back, but I used to see Aaron Rodgers on YouTube, see all the moves that he was doing, and I used to want to portray those things in the game. So I eventually got the head coach to switch my position to quarterback, and I've just been playing quarterback ever since.
Jalon Daniels started off his high school football career at Narbonne High School, located in Harbor City, California. But when he was still the third-string quarterback at the end of his sophomore season, Jalon decided it was best for him to say deuces and peace out to Narbonne, and he decided to transfer to Lawndale High School. With only 2 seasons remaining of varsity football, Jalon knew he'd have to make his name and impact felt quickly. His first season at Lawndale High, Jalon started from day one, and he led the team to a 14-2 record and won a state championship. He even ran in what would be the game-winning touchdown with 2 minutes and 1 second left in that championship game. Jalon's junior season stats were threw for 2,351 passing yards, 26 passing touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. Added another 940 yards rushing on the ground and 10 more rushing touchdowns.
Foot on the gas, I cannot stop. I'm trying to get to the top. All of these flows you can't unlock. Heavy metal when I rock. This is the
36 total touchdowns in 16 games. That's very impressive right there. Jalon came back to Lawndale for his senior season, and the team went 9-3. They lost in the second round of the state playoffs. They didn't go as far, but still had a good season. And after his senior season ended on December 18, 2019, Jalon Daniels decided to commit to the University of Kansas for football, not basketball, over schools such as Middle Tennessee State, University of Louisiana Lafayette, Air Force, and other D1 offers that he had. Jalon would leave high school ranked as a 3-star recruit by ESPN and also would leave with a 4.0 GPA. As a freshman at Kansas, Jalon would play in 7 out of their 9 games. He would even get a chance to start in 6 of them. His first ever start came against the University of Baylor, and on his first ever drive as the starter for Kansas, Jalon would actually lead a touchdown drive. It might have been a sign that there were good things to come for Kansas while Jalon Daniels was going to be there, but they would definitely still lose that game and wouldn't have a great season. Jalon Daniels would finish that season with 718 passing yards and lead the team with 3 rushing touchdowns. He also even came in and punted the ball 1 game. And his coach at the time, Les Miles, would either be fired or released from his duties at Kansas. I can't quite remember which one. But Kansas would bring in former University of Buffalo head coach Lance Leopold as their new head coach.
And last season, we had the most turnovers. So number 1 on our chart right now as an offense is ball security. Everybody in practice, if they see you have the ball not tucked, everybody screaming ball security. If you're not finishing past the last defender, everybody screaming finish. I love that right there. That's a culture. That's something I've never seen before, something I've never been a part of.
As a sophomore under the new head coaching regime, Jalon actually did not start at first. Jalon would play in 6 out of Kansas' 12 games. He would start their final 3 games of the season when then starting quarterback at the time, Jason Bean, was out due to injury. It was in his first start that sophomore season that the legend of Jalon Daniels would really begin to form and the Kansas football culture would begin to shift. November 13th, 2021, JD would lead Kansas to a 57-56 come from behind overtime road victory versus the University of Texas.
Longhorn Nation, we're back!
This was Kansas' first Big 12 conference road victory since 2008.
Freshman year, we had a lot going on. There was a lot of times where the energy was down. There was a lot of people giving up type of thing.
It had been over 13 years, and after this, it just sparked Kansas, and it gave them the confidence they needed to feel and believe that they could compete with anybody in the Big 12. New coach Lance Leopold, he used to winning. It was just a mix of stuff brewing together towards the end of the season.
I'm glad that we showed a lot of grit and a lot of fight towards the end of the season, but next year I want to come in with a bang. I want to start off exactly how we finished off this season. I want to be able to compete with every single team in the Big 12, no matter who they are. I don't care the name. I want to be able to compete, and this offseason is going to allow us to be able to do that.
And now fast forward, as a junior, Jalon came in and battled for the starting quarterback job, and he won it from the jump this season.
Kansas doesn't have a new quarterback, but he kind of has a new role, or at least his role looks a lot different than it did a year ago.
A lot more promising is what I'd say. Jalon Daniels, he was the backup or the third string for most of the season, but then Jason Bean got hurt. Jalon Daniels got in and balled out. And just him coming to Big 12 Media Days is kind of a sign of him perhaps being the starter.
And now at the time of this recording, he's helped lead Kansas to their first 3-0 record since 2009. And they're playing Duke this week. Your boy the Big Potato, I believe they're going to win that matchup. And Kansas will be 4-0. And Jalon Daniels is going to have to be looked at as a dark horse Heisman candidate. He's out there being too dynamic, making too many plays, and helping change a culture of Kansas football. And I also believe he has a chance to be the first University of Kansas quarterback drafted since 1986. It's been a drought for them for sure. That's all your boy the Big Potato got for you. Let me know in the comments what you think about Jalon Daniels. Is he a Heisman candidate? Hit that like, subscribe button for me, please. And let me know who I should do on the next Before the Accolades. Brought to you by Versace Boy ENT. Big Potato.